Derek bought a pair of AirPods Max for $549. He used Klarna, 4 payments of $137.25. No interest, no credit check. Checkout took about 6 seconds. The headphones arrived on Tuesday. He wore them to the gym on Wednesday. By Friday, he had already forgotten he still owed $411.75 on headphones he now treated like they were completely his. 2 weeks later, the second payment hit. No problem. He had the money. The third payment? Also fine. The fourth payment bounced. Why? Because 3 days earlier, Derek had bought a $280 jacket on Afterpay, and his checking account ended up $22 short. Result? Late fee, $15. He paid the $137 plus the $15 the next morning. He didn't think much of it. Just a small mistake. Just $15. But let me show you what $15 actually means. That $15 fee was an 11% penalty on a single missed payment for a 2-week delay. If you annualize that, it's over 280% APR. 280%. No credit card on earth charges 280%. Even the most predatory lender you can imagine would be embarrassed by that number. But Derek doesn't see 280%. He sees $15. And $15 doesn't feel like a crisis. It feels like a parking ticket. Pay it and move on. And that gap between what the fee actually costs and what it feels like is the entire buy now, pay later business model. Now let me tell you something else about Derek. Those AirPods weren't his only BNPL purchase. Not even close. Over the last 7 months, Derek has used buy now, pay later 16 times. Headphones, sneakers, a watch, sunglasses, 2 jackets, a gym bag, protein powder, a gaming keyboard, and about 6 other things he bought at midnight on his phone while half asleep. Total BNPL spending in 7 months, $3,400. Total late fees paid, $83. Then I asked Derek a simple question. If every single one of those purchases required you to pay full price at checkout with your debit card, how many would you have actually bought? He thought for maybe 10 seconds and said, probably 5, maybe 6. 16 purchases down to 6. That means 10 purchases, over $1,800 worth of stuff, only happened because 4 small payments made his brain say yes when his bank account should have said no. $1,800 in extra spending, plus $83 in fees. That's $1,883 that quietly disappeared from Derek's life this year. Not because he's irresponsible, not because he's bad with money, but because an app made spending feel like budgeting. And here's the important part. Derek is not the exception. Derek is the target customer. A 2023 survey from Credit Karma found that 67% of BNPL users admitted they bought something they couldn't actually afford, simply because splitting it into payments made it feel manageable. 67%. That's not fringe behavior. That's the majority of users. And a study from the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City found that BNPL users spend 10 to 40% more per transaction than people who pay full price at checkout. Fashion and electronics see the biggest increases, but even at the low end, even at just 10% more, you are spending money you would not have spent if the app didn't exist. This is not an accident. This is the product working exactly as designed. My name is John, and if you care about actually keeping your money instead of slowly bleeding it out through invisible fees and unnecessary spending, stay with me. Because what I'm about to explain will change how you see every pay in 4 button for the rest of your life. Let's talk about what's happening in your brain. When you see a price tag that says $549, a region in your brain called the insula activates. The insula processes pain, and spending money is literally processed as pain. That pain is what makes you pause, reconsider, walk away. It has been protecting you from overspending your entire life. Now watch what BNPL does to it. Instead of seeing $549 at checkout, you see $137.25 times 4. Your insula doesn't react to $549 anymore. It reacts to $137. And $137 is below your psychological pain threshold, so the purchase goes through, No friction, no hesitation. Your brain doesn't multiply 137 times 4. It just feels $137 and says, yeah, that's fine. Credit cards do something similar. They reduce the pain of paying. But credit cards give you a monthly statement, one total number, one moment where your brain sees everything at once and the pain hits again. BNPL never gives you that moment. No statement, no consolidated total, just small amounts leaving your account on random dates tied to purchases you've already forgotten about. Your brain never connects them, never adds them up, never feels the real cost. And without pain, there is no learning. Without learning, there is no control. Now let's talk about how these companies actually make money, because the answer will surprise you. They have three main revenue streams, and none of them are interest. First, merchant fees. When you buy a $100 item on Afterpay, the store doesn't get $100. Afterpay takes around 4 to 6% off the top. Why would a store agree to that? Because BNPL increases sales. Conversion rates jump 20 to 30%. Order values jump 12 to 15%. But think about who really pays for that fee. You do, because stores raise prices to cover it. Second, late fees. Block, the company that owns Afterpay, reports that roughly 15% of Afterpay's total revenue comes from late fees. And according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, 43% of BNPL users miss at least one payment per year. The system generates missed payments at scale and monetizes them. Third, your data. Every purchase you make feeds their database. What you buy, when you buy, how much you spend, what triggers you to purchase. You are not the customer. You are also the product. Zero interest doesn't mean zero cost. Now let's compare three scenarios. Take someone earning $58,000 a year with about $18,000 in discretionary spending. Scenario 1, cash and debit only. $18,000 spent, no fees. Scenario 2, credit card paid in full. Spending rises slightly to $18,900, but 2% cashback earns $378. Net cost, $18,522. Scenario 3, BNPL. Spending increases 20%, $21,600. Late fees, $50. Net cost, $21,650. Difference between credit cards and BNPL, $3,128 per year. Invest that difference at 8% returns. After 10 years, $47,000. After 20 years, $152,000. After 30 years, $383,000. Derek is 26 years old. If he keeps using BNPL the way he does now, the real lifetime cost isn't $83 in fees. It could be nearly $400,000 in lost wealth. All because $137 felt easier than $549. So what do you do about this? 3 simple steps. First, the audit. Tonight, open every BNPL app on your phone. Write down every active plan, every amount, every payment date. Add it all up into one number. If that number shocks you, good. That's the pain BNPL has been hiding from you. Second, the full price test. Before you click Pay in 4, ask one question. Would I buy this right now if I had to pay the full amount today? If the answer is no, you cannot afford it. BNPL didn't make it affordable. It just made debt feel painless. Third, the one-at-a-time rule. If you refuse to quit BNPL entirely, fine, but only one active plan at a time. One purchase, 4 payments, paid off completely. Then, and only then, start another. Here's where Derek is right now. Next week, he'll see a jacket for $340. The screen will say 85 times 4. His brain will feel $85 instead of $340, and the cycle will repeat. BNPL doesn't look like debt, but it creates the same results as debt. If you've made it this far, you now see what most people never do. Do the audit tonight, delete the apps tomorrow, and start paying full price again. Because the pain you feel at checkout isn't your enemy, it's your protection. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.